Thanks for having
Which
us.
way, where do you want me to look?
So,
Look at
you
this
look
one.
at me. Look at you. We talk to each other. Can you tell me a little bit about who you are and what you do in your...
So I mean, my technical title is Senior Vice President of Sales and Marketing.
Oh, I see.
So essentially,
Senior VP.
Yes. Yesterday I run our sales and marketing department, for the company, predominantly obviously on the condo side. Spend a lot of time, and then also working really closely with our income producing portfolio team.
Oh, that too.
So on the rental side.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And working with them on the marketing and the lease up of our rental projects.
So 102 and Park.
Yes.
102 and Park. We're looking forward to, because it's going to be located at the right core of the city center's development.
Yeah.
So can you tell us about what's happening in that sort of Surrey City Development Corporation is doing in that area?
Yeah, for sure. So I think, for us as a company, probably the best lens to kind of explain this through is actually through our investment thesis as a company. So as a company, obviously, as we look at projects and where we want to place our capital and do our developments, it's all done through an investment memo, which goes to investment committee, which is what approves us to be able to buy the land and then develop it. So for us, our
guidelines, eh?
Correct, our guidelines, and kind of it's the same thing that your buyers will go through and how they pick and choose which projects they're going to go through.
Right.
So what we thought was important was to actually get transparent with the market as to why we as Marcon decided to invest in this project. Through that, really two key themes came out of that. One is around time, and one is around place. And that's why you'll see in the market this fall, we had a pretty big campaign that was built around this kind of concept of time and place, which conveniently is the two most important things in investment of real estate is the timing and the location. From I'll talk a bit about the location perspective as you asked. So as you know, there's the whole Surrey City Centre, which is made up of a series of neighborhoods and what they call neighborhoods and districts. Within that, we have the central downtown neighborhood.
Right.
So that central downtown neighborhood is center within the northwest, the north, south, east, west boundaries.
Center of the center.
Center. So then our site
Yeah.
is actually in the center of central downtown.
Yeah.
And it's not a marketing slogan that has no meaning. It actually does have meaning from a residential.
It does.
There's no other homes that have been available on the Plaza for about 10 years, and the last one that was made available to the market was through Century Group with Three Civic Plaza. So that's kind of a big aspect in terms of put 1.6 million square feet right across the street from us, being developed by basically the city. That creates significant gravity in terms of density and energy, and will completely transform. And funny enough, just this week, they actually started construction of it.
Oh, they did?
They did,
They
yeah.
broke ground?
So they just issued their permits and are starting in January the demolition of the buildings that are actually on the site. So you're going to see that literally. So as we're starting to sell 102 apart next year, you're going to start seeing them doing site work, demolition, to actually move it forward. So it's happening. Like it's literally starting construction early next year. So and that's all available online if you want to share that with your clients. So it's just announced this week. So it's happening. So that's the center block, and then you take that and you kind of go, well, what else? You kind of go, well, SFU is going to be opening their medical school. That'll be a part of the office building that's being built within center block. So now you have SFU adding to their already significant campus, which that campus is literally across the street from us at our location. And then in addition, you look at just the student population growth that's going to be happening, through the continued increase in university presence, be it SFU across the street from us, be it UBC that's a little bit bit of a 5-10 minute walk away from us, but there's a significant university presence that's already there. Our anticipated construction completion is actually conveniently about 2030. So by the time we're built, you're going to have Surrey City Centre adding the center block. So you're going to have 1.6 million square feet across the street from us with the SFU Medical School running. That's 2030, right? The Surrey Skytrain's extension to Langley anticipated to be done by then.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be running. The universities and throughout the collection of what's going on in Surrey City Centre, in downtown, in central downtown, also just outside of central downtown UBC, we're gonna grow about 28,000 students, and that's gonna happen, by 2030. The Plaza, as I discussed it and where we're located on the Plaza, that's gonna be done. City Parkway, which is obviously the street that runs south to north, that will be transformed and is also had been anticipated and planned to be a pedestrian-oriented street. Anyways, and I think the last thing I forgot to mention, 2030, Surrey is anticipating to be the largest city by 2030. So by population. So there's actually
already surpassed the population of Vancouver.
not in terms of the population.
I see. Okay,
not
but
yet.
very close.
Yes, that's why it's, and we'll see if that continues in terms of how Vancouver continues to grow. But right now, based on the information, the data, they're anticipated to be the largest city by population by 2030. So it's by 2030, there's actually quite a lot that will be in place, at the time that we finish our building.
So there's going to be so much of demand of,
Yes.
housing's there, no matter how you look at it.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
You're the only condo
Yeah.
that's going to be built within that sort of vicinity. Yeah, that sort of block there.
Yeah.
That's going to create so much demand. And why? Because of, happening with all the governments, universities, especially SFU. The building's going to look phenomenal.
Yeah.
The design-wise, going to look really great.
Yeah.
But in terms of interior design and stuff, what are the things that you're actually kind of sort of putting into to differentiate, to sort of to bring this one to park into, a piece of project that will have a good name for a long time?
Yeah.
What
So
are the things?
Well, start from kind of the outside in, just
Okay.
kind of zooming from macro
Sure.
and kind of more into the home. So,
Yeah.
as you mentioned, for us, we really wanted to really create something that was simple, understated, but of high design.
Okay.
As we kind of called it, it's a simple skyscraper.
Simple skyscraper.
And that was our kind of design vision of it.
Nice to see
Great,
you.
yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course. Happy
Right,
to.
right.
Yeah, great. My name's Andrew Joplin. I've been with Marcon for about 3 years at this standpoint,
see.
and I oversee the development team, working with the team that inherits the projects once they enter into our development pipeline. So essentially, once we've acquired a site, it enters into our development pipeline, and our team works with the city, working through the entitlement stage and the design of the projects. And then we remain the stewards overseeing the project in partnership with our construction team throughout the construction stage to ensure that all the design intent and parameters are met, and what is ultimately delivered to the home buyers is what was intended at the early outset. Marcon has a very long-standing foundation working within the construction side, building residential homes. As you mentioned, that initially started working out in the valley, started in Langley, and along the way, quietly, Marcon was always doing some development work as well.
You guys were.
Yeah, so the construction work was always definitely the real foundation of the business, but there was development activities happening concurrently, and those development activities really have just increased in complexity and scale and sophistication over the last, I'd say 20, 30 years.
I see.
I remember when we were in the old office in Langley doing a drive around with Marco one day, and we were started driving around, and he's like, well, that's one of the triplexes that I built, and this is one of the first condo buildings that we built. When you start driving around Langley, there's a real history of the company that's there, and it's pretty incredible just to see how that has grown in terms of a construction and development enterprise that is now operating all throughout Metro Vancouver.
How do you want to be recognized as a builder, the construction side, as in Marcon side?
Yeah, it's a great question.
From the
Yeah, so something that we try and do is not so much compare ourselves to the other builders that are in the industry, look at how we can more so have continual improvement happening within our own operations and kind of just striving for always doing better in terms of reflecting in. When it comes to what provides some level of uniqueness to our firm, it's really the core function of our identity and having a relentless pursuit of quality.
Okay.
It's something that forms the basis of not just how we build homes, but how we design homes, how we build our teams, how we decide to hire, and it is being a core function of our identity. It finds its way into every single activity that we do, whether it be constructing a home or finding the way that we design the homes.
Built by
Yes.
Marcon.
Yeah, on
And
200.
I realized that there's like very just small number of division, like virtually none.
Yeah, fantastic.
And yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
And the construction, took very short than what everybody expected, which is, tough for a lot of buyers and whatnot. But still, at the end of the day, construction side was just quality, quality, right?
Yeah, we're happy to hear that.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's an important feature when people are buying pre-sale. You're putting a lot of faith in that developer and that builder. You're buying something sight unseen. You're buying something that isn't there yet. You're placing some faith in them that they're going to be delivering something that is of high value to you. It was a principle that Marco instilled heavily within the company very early on, is this idea that quality is paramount over everything else. And it was to the standpoint that early on, a lot of our site staff were walking around with a sticker on their hard hat that said, quality is my job. And it became not just something that is an item that we say, it was more than just a marketing angle. It truly did form the way that we make decisions. It formed the way that we conduct ourselves on our day-to-day operations. And it became a core part of just not what we're out there preaching, but also what we practice. Marcon is, in a historical sense, mostly known for our residential projects.
Right.
Within the last few years, we have started diversifying our portfolio and looking at opportunities that are more expansive than just residential. Those are projects that we're going to be starting to execute on within the coming years. So we have about 5,500 homes in the pipeline that are residential, just under 1,000 rental homes that are within our development pipeline.
Right.
We recently delivered a rental project within West Kwantlen area this summer, or late summer, fall of this year.
Was it low-rise?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
low-rise project, and we're going to have more coming into fruition in the next 1 to 2 years. We're developing a rental portfolio that we're going to be maintaining and asset managing. We'll be doing that internally. So one of the interesting pushes that have been done from like a corporate strategic sense in the last 3-4 years was looking to vertically integrate more functions within the development arm of the business. We also have interior design that we brought within our development function. We brought sales and marketing internally within the organization, and then also have started building out income producing properties division that will be asset managing and property managing the rental and commercial portfolio that we're building out. That's it. Yes. Yeah.
Especially the construction side.
That's right.
And the interior design, they're working together.
That's right. Yeah.
And there's so much stuff that can, good thing that can happen.
A lot of great outcomes coming out of the synergies that we're finding in having.
And even sales and marketing side too.
That's exactly
in the
right.
house.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so
Great.
much for
Yeah,
your
thank
time.
you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Looking forward to.
Okay,
Looking
thanks.
forward to. Thank you so much.